be present for the information to be presented. Note for the record, we do have a quorum present. Please join us as Councilor Bishop Cooper leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all. Move down to the approval of agenda. The chair will entertain a motion to approve tonight's agenda as published. So moved by Councilor Mercado. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Cooper. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Agenda is approved. Move down to third reading of ordinances. Ordinance 26-22, an ordinance to levy and impose a 1% local option sales tax and a use tax within Georgetown County, South Carolina, pursuant to Section 4-10-10 at SEQ of the South Carolina Code of Laws 1976 as amended to define the specific purpose of the tax, to impose the conditions and restrictions upon the use of the proceeds of the tax, to provide for a countywide referendum for the imposition of the tax, to provide for the conduct of such referendum, to provide for the administration of the tax and other matters related thereto. We have a report from Mr. Jay Watson, our county attorney. Mr. Watson, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening, council. So this is third reading for the local option sales tax. It would put, if approved, it would put the matter on as a referendum matter, or a referendum on the election in November. Early voting starts October 19th. By statute, 71% will be allocated of the revenues collected will be allocated to provide tax relief for the county and municipality. Sorry, I just put a lifesaver in my mouth a minute ago.
They get me too.
71% will be allocated to provide property tax relief for the county and municipalities. The remaining amount will be distributed based on a formula of 50% on place of sales and 50% on population. Any other questions? Be happy to try to answer them.
Thank you, Attorney Watson. Are there any questions for Attorney Watson?
Yes, I have a few.
Councilor Newman?
The 7129, Jay, you stated it's statute. How did we come about the 7129?
I believe that's a statutory amount. I'd have to go back and reference the statute. It is, but I'm pretty sure that's, as I said the last time, this is a referendum issue, and it's pretty much all laid out in statute, the questions and everything that we have listed.
Could it not be 100% zero?
No, I don't believe so. For what? Let's make sure.
Well, we don't need to work in believes right now. We need to make sure what we're talking about.
100% in what regard? What are you referring to?
100%, which would take the place of the 71 versus the 29.
Provide tax relief for the counties and the municipalities? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, but you're saying it's state law that it has to be 7129.
Yes, sir. You want me to reference the statute?
Yeah,
try to pull it up.
let me ask you this. Do you know of any counties that do anything other than 7129?
I'm not aware of any, no.
Calls under making some calls, there's some that do other than 7129. That's why I'm asking, is it hard, fast law? We have to do 7129?
Well, if you've called around and you're saying that if you're representing now that there are some counties who don't do that, then that's a matter I need to look into. And I would have been happy to have done that prior to the meeting, so I could have answered you a little more clearly, but I didn't. I was unaware. And these are the numbers that were referenced at the second reading, and they weren't particularly questioned as the way you are now. So I have not looked into that. If you're wanting to know, is there some other percentage that the law would allow, that's something I'll have to research and get back to you on.
Could I ask somebody something out in the audience? Madison, do you have any info on that? 71, 20, 29. Huh?
Well, the places that you've talked to, Raymond, that have the 100%, do they have municipalities they have to split that with?
Yeah.
Or is it just all county money?
No, they have municipalities.
And municipalities agreed to it?
I guess. I'm not expert on
Just
asking the
curious.
question.
I was just curious about that.
That was gonna be my question, what the split was based on, we've got a draft for a $12 million number, but I know we've raised close to 18 million on the CPST, so based on those numbers, if you just ballpark it up to 20, if you could do a number, got 12 million and maybe base it off 20 million, what each municipality would receive in their general funds, plus the county, if you could kind of go into those numbers. And I don't know if Brandon has those numbers or if Jay, you do.
I've got the numbers for 18
And
million.
it's ballpark.
Yeah, ballpark on 18 million, which as you alluded, has previously been generated by CPST. Sticking to the same allocation percentages.
Yep.
We would look at $5.22 million on the 29% side of the house that would go as revenue to the municipalities. The county would retain approximately 3.8 million.
Okay.
These are round numbers, like I said. City of Georgetown then would be looking at about 991, close to $992,000. Town of Andrews would be about 561 or 261. I'm sorry, $261,000 at 5%, and then the town of Pawleys Island would be around 156 and a half.
So if we kept the numbers the same per the state statute, the city of Georgetown, which has what, 8,000, 9,000 residents, would receive almost $1 million a year. Right?
Correct.
Town of Andrews, what, 2,500 residents? Ballpark?
2,500, I think around 2,600 residents.
Would get at the run rate that we're running at, would be at 261.
Roughly.
Town of Pawleys would get same run rate, 156. And the county would get 3.8 million,
Correct, yes, ma'am.
which we could collectively use to run the general fund,
Any sort of governmental operations or services. as
including
needed,
stormwater, safety.
Public safety. any of
Ditches.
those. Correct.
Thank you.
Could,
Sure could.
keyword. Could.
And then the other 79% would go to property tax relief, right?
71%.
71%.
71%. I think that's the minimum standard required by the statute. The 29% can support government operations in any way seen fit by the jurisdictional body.
And the property tax relief would go to not just property owners in the sense of a house or a business, but it would also go to cars, motorcycles.
Correct. Anything,
Boats,
any real
anything else.
property, any real property that is paid upon, cars, motorcycles, vehicles, boats, motors, aircraft.
So even if you're renting and you owned a car, you would get property relief.
Correct. You still get relief in some capacity.
Thank you.
Mr.
Brandon,
Chairman,
those-
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead if you have a question.
Those numbers, the percentages that are on the sheet that you gave us, those percentages could change,
It could-
correct?
Based off of population, yes, sir. That's a 50% calculator in the equation.
So it's population as well as point of sale, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so if the town of Andrews started generating more sales tax, they could get more.
And have a population boom, yes, their
Yeah,
figure
could
could
get-
go up. So,
So
That's
same
about
thing with
60.
anybody else.
63, 64, 5% for the county,
73% is what the county's allocation is, yes, sir. And these are
73.
guesstimates. These are best estimates that we were able to formulate based off of current data that's available.
The population's not an estimate though, that's a real number, right?
It is, yes, sir.
Yeah,
That's a real number. So
Absolutely.
it's a variable that changes, but it's not a big
Right.
swing. It's within 1 or 2%.
You drew a line in the sand and it's a real number.
Right.
Gotcha.
And that's census based.
Mr. Chairman, to Mr. Newton's question, this may clear up some of the confusion. Depending on if you've called some other counties and they're giving you some different numbers, it may be due to the fact that the 71%, that's a graduated amount you get to in the fifth year. Okay, so by statute, during the first year, and these are the numbers, these are the revenue collected from that the Department of Revenue sends back. During the first year, it's a 63%, 37% split. Second year, it's a 65, 35. Third year, is 67, 33. Then a 69, 31, and then it caps out in the fifth year at 71% and 29. And I think because this is a tax that stays in place unless otherwise later repealed or something, you tend to work off of that fifth year amount because that is where it's headed.
The 7129.
Yes, and that is a statutory set amount. And those are the amounts that the revenues collected by the Department of Revenue on behalf of the counties will send back. So if there was some confusion maybe from other counties, perhaps they're in years 1 to 4 potentially.
So what we know now is that's no changing those numbers. That's what this council is being told.
Right, because, and again, it's not that we change them, or that we've set them.
No.
They're amounts that are in the code,
That's
South Carolina code, and that
Way-
the
the
Department
way
of
we're-
Revenue will work from to send monies back.
the way we're reading the statute, the law,
Mhm.
is that we can't change those numbers.
Well, and it's not even within our purview. If you want for future reference, to reference it, it's 4-10-90, Section B. And under Section B, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which are the first, second, third, fourth, fifth year that I just referenced for you. And again, those are it says revenues collected by the Department of Revenue will be dispersed back, I'm paraphrasing, but back to the counties based on these percentages. So that's set in code, and that's something that the Department of Revenue is following.
Jay, let me back up just a minute. You gave a graduated scale there from a first year to the fourth year being 71-29. Now,
Fifth is 71 to
the
20.
fifth is, okay. But, we've never had this particular tax before, so are we just in the first year then? So this number wouldn't be 71-29, it would be whatever you read off first? It would be graduated for us also?
That is,
337.
as I read, reading the code here, that's what it says.
Yeah, well, it sounds to me like,
But I think you're
if it-
right. I think everyone typically is working from that 71-29.
but that's the end game, and we're on the 10-yard line, so we're gonna be at those first numbers for the first year.
Well, and if you note that each year it does increase.
Yes. Yes, I understand that. So are we advertising the wrong thing for the first year then with the math that Brandon's done? Am I making sense?
Well, I think so, but I'm not sure. Let me see.
Brandon, you with me? You follow what I'm wondering here is that we're not in the fifth year, we're in the first year.
I'm tracking that, but I think it's an assumption that as Jay alluded, this is a tax that once it goes on the books, it's there until it's repealed through same process that you all are doing today. So we're looking at longevity of it. I think that one of the questions, the 29% piece is, I think we've discussed that. It's there for how you see fit to support local government operations and services, which could be a multitude of things. I understand what you're saying is this stair-step methodology there,
Right.
but we're looking at the longevity of it and the numbers. If we computed an estimate for every scenario, we could be calculating rocket trajectories at that point. Right now we're just trying to keep it as simple as possible for the calculations that we're trying to come up with.
Is the life of this one 8 years or 4 years?
This is indefinite
And
until
this
you
is
repeal it.
indefinite.
Until
This
you
is the
repeal it.
ongoing thing. Okay.
Correct.
So
Yeah,
the
it's
council-
there until you repeal it,
With you.
Unless
All right.
council reverts.
unless
back.
council repeals
Okay.
it. So
Yeah.
Right, which is why I said I think most,
I'd
for
forgotten that,
long-term
but you're right.
projections, they work with that 7129 because that is where it will end.
Right.
And this is the same planning assumptions and scenarios that were used in 2024 when this was last discussed for you.
How many counties, have the loss
32
out of 46, right?
and one municipality.
You know, Mr. Chairman, I think what we are, well, one thing when we were trying to discuss this particular tax really is to try to provide some relief to the property owners. So if we were to, I guess, start up with the 63%, that means we only giving 63% relief to the taxpayers, wouldn't it? Wouldn't that, because 71% goes to tax relief and the 29% goes to county budget, from my understanding, for county's use, county municipality use. Isn't that correct? I mean, it's 7129. So 71% goes to property tax relief.
Correct.
Am I looking at it wrong? And 29% goes to the county and municipalities
So
for its use.
71% goes to tax release, taxpayer credit.
Yeah.
Of that, 67% of the 71% goes to county government for county tax relief. And the other 33% goes to the municipalities on that weighted scale calculation
Right.
piece to give them tax relief as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, our municipal partners have higher taxes because they pay both.
Yeah, so the
County and
75% goes to tax relief regardless whether it's county or municipality. Okay,
Correct.
that's
So
what I thought.
taxpayers will see at a minimum based off of the statute, once it matures, as Jay kind of outlined, 71% will be
Right.
attributed to tax relief. Yeah.
But then the 29% that as it's framed right now will go to county, city coffers or it's used any way they so desire.
Correct.
So to me, that seems to be one of the concern of the taxpayers really as to what the county municipalities is going to do with those particular funds and its use. So if it were to be reverted to the 60, whatever it is, then that mean their citizens would be getting less tax relief, wouldn't it? Less tax
In
reduction.
the first four
First 4
years,
years.
that's true.
First 4 years as it grows to that
Absolutely.
71% point. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and we're trying to find some relief for them, especially after reassessment of it.
Well, it's,
Am I missing something here?
no, it's not 71% relief, but it's 63% relief and growing. So it is
Right.
relief, it is still a significant relief. And then it graduates each year until the fifth year when it's in 7129. And it's
But we're talking-
71 coming back to county, 29 back to the municipalities.
But we're talking about starting out having 7129 overall. We're not talking about going to 6337 or whatever.
The statute says we have to start out with that first split, right?
Could we take a recess here? I think we need to clarify this a little more deeply before we go on. I'm not sure you're correct on this, Jay.
In what regard? I mean, I'm looking at
I
the
think it
statute
can
now,
be-
and maybe misunderstanding the question you're asking, but I am reading the
I
statute.
think it can be changed.
Mr. Chairman, that's a decision for you.
Take this quick recess. 5 minutes.
Okay. We'll stand in recess for 5 minutes. Thank you, guys. We're back in session now, and I apologize for the delay. Attorney Watson, you want to give us kind of a quick preview of what we learned during our recess?
Well, I'll give you a preview. I don't know if it'll be quick. Let me see if I can unscramble this egg. Couple of things to keep in mind. The percentages we were talking about earlier, those percentages represent the amount of monies coming back from the state treasurer to the counties and municipalities, and they're coming in two pots. One is the property tax credit fund, and the other is the county municipal revenue fund. Okay. The property tax credit fund goes for the tax relief. The county municipal revenue funds go based on percentages and maths and formulas elsewhere in the code, goes to the counties or the municipalities for them to use as they want. Okay. Question, as I understood it, that arose and that we've discussed is whether 100% of lost revenues could be used for property tax credit. I think the short answer to that is no, not as a referendum measure, but yes, in the sense that I'm not just going to use the 5-year figure of 71 and 29. That whatever amount of that 29% that the county receives for its revenue fund, if the county council wanted to take all of that and attribute that also for property tax credits, it can do that. It does have, borrow your mouse, please. It does have the liberty to do that. And in fact, in 4-10-50, it says revenue distributed to a county or municipality may be used to provide an additional tax credit in the manner provided in 4-10-40B. Now, why I think you can't do it as a referendum question is, well, there's a couple of reasons, but one notably is the municipalities are entitled to their tax revenue credit or fund coming back from the state treasurer. This body could not vote to remove that from them and say, we're taking 100% of it, all right, as a matter of a ballot question. But you can put it on the ballot, as we did last time, using the statutory form, and if it passes, and the statutory ballot question, and if it passes, then you will get back your percentages for the county. The municipalities will get back their percentages, and you could then vote to take whatever percentage you got in your revenue fund and also allocate that, okay? So I think for this council, a safe harbor and what the issue before you tonight is simply, are you going to authorize a referendum question to be placed on the ballot? Safe harbor is for that referendum question to follow the form from the statute. And then also, what will happen, the percentages we talked about earlier, those are percentages that the treasurer is going to send you. Those are set out for what they will be sending back. Does that address all of the different issues that arose?
I believe it does. So it basically says that as a referendum question, it's got to go out just as it did last time. But when it comes back to us, our portion of it, council can at budget time agree to put that as a tax credit.
Correct.
Okay, but it would be for the previous years.
What now? I'm sorry.
Yeah, the following,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
It would change year by year.
Yeah, it would change year by year, but we can't take the portion of it the municipalities are supposed to get and tell them what to do with it or take it from them because we'll be challenged in court and we'll lose that.
Well, I think you would be challenged. I mean, yes, I think you would be challenged. Also, I think, you've got to remember that each council, this is a tax that will stay unless repealed. So to try to force a 100% allocation of property tax across the board of all lost funds, one, removes funds from, potential funds from the municipalities, but also, as a budget matter, binds future councils as well. Because you're taking money, again, using the 7129, you're taking 29% of potential revenues, whatever the county's allocation of that would be, and saying, well, we're going to put it over here, when it could have been in the budget for something else. So there's a couple of reasons why I think it would be subject to challenge
Any other councils could change it anytime they wanted to.
potentially.
Can't say just because we pass something, it's not there forever and ever. It's be,
But they can't change that 71%. That 71% is the minimum distribution has to come back for
State
property
law,
tax
but-
relief.
you can't say that just because we pass it, it's not there forever.
That's
Oh,
correct.
well, right, they
Council
could
repeal
vote
it.
to repeal the tax, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, it is there unless repealed. And I think I said unless
Yeah.
repealed.
I'm saying, I don't think I think it has to be on the referendum question in order for it to be done like this versus turning it over to this council to take the 29% and add it to properly. Not that I don't trust these guys. They've never given me any reason whatsoever in this world not to trust it, all of it.
Jay, can you read the referendum?
Uh,
The ballot question?
Yeah, the ballot question.
Let's see, hold on one second. Yes, sir, give me a second. Do you have that referendum or oh, wait a minute. I do have it. Give me one sec.
Should be on the. It's on the agenda.
Give me just a second, Mr. Anderson. We do have it here.
On the ballot 2 years ago. We all voted for it or against it.
You talking about just the ordinance, Jay?
Yes, that's what we're
No,
looking
he's
for. It's in
talking
the
about-
ordinance
he's
and
talking
we had a
about the
copy of the
ballot
ordinance
question,
sitting up
The
here.
referendum question.
Yeah, that's fine. That's the one. Oh, wait a minute. This one. Give me one second. We're pulling it up. Just
Yeah.
wanting the,
It's Exhibit A in
are
all
you-
the documents, Jay.
yeah, and you just wanting the ballot question?
Yes, I'd like to hear what the question is, and then, the referendum is gonna be,
It's in our
is
documents.
to pass that question.
Yeah, so
Here's
it's
the- yeah.
paragraph 13.
I've got it right here.
The referendum question to appear on the ballot to be held in the county on November 3rd, 2026 must read substantially as follows. Must a 1% sales and use tax be levied in Georgetown County for the purpose of allowing a credit against taxpayers, county, and municipal ad valorem tax liability, and for the purpose of funding county and municipal operations in the Georgetown County area? That's
That's
the
it.
question.
That's it.
Okay,
That's the
and
question. And it
fine.
goes
And
yes or
then-
no.
Then.
Voters to
and it's-
decide.
It's up to the voters to decide, and then, once the money starts coming in, we decide with whatever portion of our percentage was,
have an ordinance.
coming back, before it's distributed out to the municipalities. We will, whatever's left over for us after distributing out their part in that year, talking about year 1 through year 5. Once that's done, then we can make we can have an ordinance or make a motion to take all the money that we receive, and rather than putting it into the county coffers, we put it back over into the 71% coffer and let the people have it. And that's basically what that can say. It doesn't have to say that now, because like I said earlier, this made it through the test of reasonableness the last time in 24. We use the same thing this time, and then we can make the decision what we want to do with our portion of the money, and I'm talking about the county's portion of the money in the years to come.
Right,
And
and
leave it alone.
Right, and, you know, again, the percentages that we were talking about earlier are coming from the 100% that is collected, but they come back from the state treasurer, again, graduated amount, 63% in the first year will go to property tax credit, 65% in the second year, 67, 69, ultimately to 71.
Right.
So the vast majority of the lost revenues collected would go to
Property
tax,
Right.
property
Right.
relief, property tax relief.
Right.
So it's, you know, do you want
It's only going to get better.
on all or nothing or part of something?
Right. It's only going to get better year to year until we max
Right.
out at the 71%, and then they'll level load from there.
And isn't there a significant percentage that
Right.
comes from visitors that come to our county? What's the percentage? Madison, you're nodding your head, so I'm wondering if you know the percentage or Brandon does. I can't remember from 2 years ago
Percentage of what?
of what's paid for by tourists for
Oh,
people that
on the-
visit the county. We had those numbers 2 years ago.
63,
Last time it
63,
was conservatively estimated, very conservatively estimated at 40%.
Yeah.
We
So
seem to
on
think that
top
number may
of-
be north of that now.
Oh, okay.
On top of the fact that there's property tax relief, most of the money well, not most of it, a little less than half of the money that's collected is coming from people that don't even reside here.
Right.
So it's a benefit to the county across the board. And the voters can decide that. They will decide that.
Yeah.
One other thing to keep in mind too is that things such as groceries, clothing, prescriptions are exempt. So
And
the ne-
gas,
So the necessities that people need
correct.
are exempt from this tax.
Mr. Chair,
So as far as the way this thing is pitched and not sold, but pitched, that's
Educated,
important.
Bob, we're educating.
Educate, exactly. We should educate that it's gonna start out and it's only gonna get better. It's gonna start out at 63% and it's gonna go to 71 and level out. So they do know it's only gonna get better, as you said. I would highly recommend that we pitch it that way.
Educate.
And if we do that, I will vote for it.
Bishop Cooper, you have a question?
thank you, Mr. Chair. We all agree pretty much on the 7129. And I don't agree that we should put it on the ballot in terms of, according to what Mr. Newton stated. But what I'm recommending, we do it like this. With the 7129, we all aware of that. But what's the difference? What can different? What varies from county to county is not the lost split, but what varies from county to county is the amount of revenue collected. We're in agreement with that. What varies from county to county is the property tax credit amount. That's what's going to vary. What's going to vary from county to county is the distribution amount of the county and city and other local state tax. So if we put this pretty much on the ballot, that we're voting for this, but if we put other things on the ballot, it's going to confuse the people. For example, when I was coming in as a county council, when I was running, we were being educated. There were several sessions educating the people about the loss. The loss fell by 54 votes. I think if we go back to that form that we had prior, we put that on the ballot, but prior to October the 19th, early elections start October the 19th through November the 3rd. We need to be educating the people that these are some of the things I just pointed out is going to happen. It varies from county to county, the amount of revenue collected. And once we can inform and educate the people, helping them to be aware of the property tax credit amount, the distribution amount, it now gives them an option where they're educated about there's going to be difference. We understand about the 7129. But if we add other things other than the 7129, I believe the people is going to be confused. They're not going to have the clarity. I think we can keep it simple and we educate. If we got to do it every 2 weeks, whatever it takes, we have meeting with the people, we give them an opportunity and explain these are the things that is going to be different from county to county. metropolitan, this is what can happen. These are the options. And this will give them the clarity of what to vote for or not vote on it. That's my perspective, because if we add more than what they need to read into, we can lose this valuable opportunity for loss like we lost it in 2024 because the people was not clear. And I think it's going to make it even muddier if we add more than necessary. That's my perspective.
Bishop Cooper, I think we're all in agreement with you, and that's what we're saying, is that we've got the language for the question and we've got the rest of the referendum. And when the money starts coming in, we'll make the decisions on the rest of it. We'll make them know that it's going to start at 63% the first year, up the fifth year, it's going to be 71. Other than that, that I wouldn't say anything. But that's not what's going to be on the referendum or the question.
Mr. Chairman, I think we have
Correct?
discussed this matter infinitum basically, and I think we all have some
Yeah,
understanding
that's-
as to,
Yeah, I'm getting ready to call for a vote.
as to, we're here really to see whether we want to pass referendum and understanding the ramifications of it. So nothing really can happen to any of the proceeds until the referendum is passed. So I think we need to make a decision whether we desire to put it on the ballot for its passage or just what we need to do, and then we'll deal with the other part thereafter. Now that we know how it can be allocated, that would give us something to educate our public on. So
Absolutely.
do I need to make a motion?
Yeah, please do.
Is there a motion on the floor for ordinance 2622? Moved by Councilman Cotter, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Anderson. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Motion carries 6-1. Move down to our second reading of ordinances, an ordinance to regulate through traffic on county-maintained portions of Turntable Road within Georgetown County and Council District 1. We have a report from Attorney Watson.
Well, this is not a referendum question to go on the ballot. This is simply, this would be an ordinance that would simply regulate through traffic. And I think primarily just large commercial trucks going through Turntable Road in Georgetown County. My understanding is that there's been some requests from citizens and a need to regulate big trucks using that as an access pass-through. Any other questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them or maybe direct you to the council member whose district it is.
Thank you, Attorney Watson. Are there any questions for Attorney
I
Watson?
have a question. Are we still going to follow up with the ordinance that's the broad brush, the second phase of this? Because we got this same problem in other areas all over the county. I understand we wanted to get this one done quickly, but I would like to see us follow up with something that's more a broader brush. Thank you.
Yeah, we will. This is just this was one that the residents on that road have been trying to get this done for 7 years. So I wanted to go ahead and knock this one out. Are there any further questions? All right, hearing none, the chair will hear a call for a motion on ordinance 2623. So moved by Councilor Charles, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Cooper. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed? Ordinance passes. All right, we move down to, is there any further business to come before council this time? Hearing none, chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Anderson, is there a second? Second by Councilor Charlton. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? We stand adjourned.